No matter who you are or how you found this page, I'm about to give you access to something for free. Now, before I do that, I just want to show you obviously how much money what I'm about to give you access to so you can download it is making me every single day. Okay, it's important to note that this is my system. Now, all I can promise is that I'm going to show you my results with it and show you where to download it, but it does not necessarily mean that you're going to make as much money as me or even any money at all. Okay, these are just my results, and as you can see, I've made a lot of money with it. You can see my daily sales here. I'm averaging, well over $2,000 every single day. You can see that translates to over $15,000 a week coming in straight to my bank account from these little online campaigns that pretty much run on autopilot for me, by the way. Now, if I click over to the reporting tab, you can see that in 2011, for example, it made me over $1 million. This is in paychecks paid out straight to my bank account. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to explain how you can get access to this for yourself. Like I said, I'm about to give you something for free. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to a presentation I've prepared, and in that presentation I'm basically just going to walk you through it and show you exactly what to do. So let's jump over to that now. It's a simple formula, but it's this crazy simple formula that has led to the millions of dollars I've now made online and to the collapse of the so-called solid foundations of every other method or software program today's internet world is built upon. It's a fact that has now led to what I consider to be the largest money-making opportunity in internet history, an opportunity that anyone with a computer, even you, can get in on. See, 3 years ago, I was in a very different situation. I had exactly minus $8,159 in the bank, and I remember, believe me, my friends and family didn't respect me, and to top it all off, I had frankly one of the worst jobs you will probably ever hear of. I was a furniture mover. Of all the jobs in the world, my job was helping people move furniture. That's it. I used to carry furniture around all day. Old TVs, sofas, big old closets. In fact, here's a picture of my old business card. I didn't know much about computers and made what I now recognize as a series of terrible mistakes. Simply put, I became obsessed with the work from home dream, and over the next few months wasted over $5,000 trying to make it happen. I tried everything, but after months of trying to make it, I started to get pretty angry. I was pissed off, furious at the gurus, sick and tired of the rubbish systems out there that flat out didn't work, and I was going to do something about it. And the dream of quitting my miserable furniture removal job kept me pushing forward. So I went rogue, said screw the gurus, and set out to create my own system. And this is about to lead right back to your story in a moment. So here's what I did. I set out to target, monitor, and find loopholes in the biggest goldmine on the internet. And it's pretty darn big. In fact, it gets over 6,943,022 individual people using it every single day. That's real people you could be making money from. And as a company, it's currently worth over $196 billion. Yes, that's $196 billion. This is serious, not just some website some guy discovered under a rock, a story you've probably heard more times than you can count. And I figured if I could just figure out a way to siphon off even 0.001% of that, I'd be rich beyond my wildest dreams. So naturally, I started experimenting, trying out different things that I might use to get a slice of the action. I tried a bunch of different methods, some worked and some didn't. But eventually, something did. And with some extensive research and being very patient, I'll admit, I finally cracked it. I found a series of loopholes I could use to exploit at will and siphon off my own little slice of the pie. It wasn't huge, and it didn't seem that groundbreaking to me. But here's the thing. When you're dealing with a web asset that's worth almost $196 billion, you don't need much of it to become very, very wealthy. So I set up one particular campaign, played around with it a little bit, and I did it. I made some money. I'll never forget that moment. I remember staring at the screen for hours, it seemed, and thinking about how much money I might make in the future. And I remember realizing to myself that my life would never be the same. Now, they weren't all winners in the beginning, but I now knew what was possible, so I started testing and tweaking, cutting out the stuff that didn't work and scaling up what did. And eventually, I got it down to a kind of perfect system. Then from $7,400 to $13,850 a month. It all happened so fast, and pretty soon this monster was making me over $20,000 a month, every month.
It was incredible, and I'd only scratched the surface. Today, it's much more than that. In fact, here's how much money one particular account is making. If I press login here, what you're now seeing is the inside of this account. And then if I just go up here and run a report here for you for a month, and we just give it a second to load, you can see a bunch of orders right here. And right here, you can see over 6 figures in a single month. That is all 100% profit to my bank account. And what about another account? You see, this particular campaign, I set up to pay me on ClickBank. So once again, if I go ahead and log in, and we just give it a second to load, you can see how much this one campaign is currently making me every day right here. Anywhere from $800 all the way up to $2,000 a day. And listen, the best part about this is that once you set up the campaign, that's it. It runs for you on autopilot, and whether I'm at the computer or not, the profits come in every day for months and even years to come, like a machine. I call it Google Sniper. I created it from the ground up, taking serious note of all the crucial features every other software program or book is missing that I've just taught you in this video. It's a system that's honestly light years ahead of anything else. And while I can't tell you much about it in the limited time we have, because you're smart enough to keep watching this wake-up call presentation, I will reveal a couple of things. Number one, it's free. There's many ways of making money online that involve something called paid advertising, but I didn't want to do that. I mean, who wants to make $1,000 when you've got to spend $980 to make it? I wanted to make my money for free. Only then would I not have to worry about costs, expenses, and technical mumbo jumbo, because every single cent I made would be pure profit. And so Google Sniper is completely different in that every cent the system does make for you is 100% profit. Number two, it doesn't require any technical setup or previous knowledge at all. There's no, weird stuff to upload to servers or code to figure out. Literally, all you need to do is follow along and copy step by step what I do, and you could have your first campaign up and running tonight. Number three, it doesn't require any ongoing work. And while you may not realize it, this is the biggest part of all, because you only need to set up your campaign once, and Google Sniper will make money for you on autopilot, like I said, for months and often even years to come. Every day, whether you're at the computer or not. I'm serious. I have over 50 of these very campaigns up and running, doing the work for me right now as you're watching this video. And most importantly of all, Google Sniper does not involve any of the usual stupid, 12-click so-called software or outdated methods that never make you a cent. I mean, let me ask you a serious question. Have you ever met anyone who's made a single cent from Facebook, or by doing something weird and strange, like by apparently hacking in to someone's cell phone using a supercomputer? No? Well, neither have I. And it's no surprise, because all those systems are complete, plain and simple BS. And even the scams that are kind of real are plagued by thousands of other people trying to do the same thing, as I explained earlier in this video. But what I'm talking about here is very different indeed. Imagine if you were the only person trying to make money with Facebook, on eBay, or blogging. You could be the worst blogger in the world, but people would still come to your blog because you'd be the only one. Actually, scratch that. Imagine any industry in the world. Cars, banking, whatever. Imagine how easy it would be to make money if you had zero competition. No one else selling cars, no one else offering bank accounts. It wouldn't be that hard, would it? Now, obviously, that's impossible, and I don't expect you to go that far. But it's an interesting thought, isn't it? No competition. Imagine what you could achieve. Now, it's important to realize I'm not promising that with Google Sniper. Obviously, you're sharing the system with me, for one, and the lucky few others about to get in on the insane opportunity I'm presenting to you. But what I am saying is that there's so few people, and the $196 billion pie you're about to tap into is so large that your profits will be as if you were the only one doing it. And to be honest, when it comes to making money online with Google Sniper, or when you compare it to every other method or software system you've ever seen, it's simply game over. Google Sniper is on a complete other level, and between you and me gives you an almost unfair advantage over everybody else. And not only is it simple enough for anybody to use it, but it doesn't take months for you to see results either. Google Sniper works lightning fast, and it's actually a simple 1, 2, 3 system that you can have up and running as soon as tonight, and it will run 100% for you on autopilot. Step 1, you follow along and copy me, and you could be